All right, there we go, folks. Thank you for coming in and being with us tonight. It is Tuesday, November the 8th. The year is almost gone. It doesn't even seem like it started yet. Tonight we are going to be talking about glutathione and the immune system. Let me get my share going here. Here we go.
And David, I'm going to be reading this disclaimer because we are going to be talking about a natural product, a natural way to build our immune. We're talking about the immune system today. And I thought it was a really good idea to go over this because a lot of times people wait too long and then there's an issue and then they're grasping at whatever they can, generally medication, to try to get themselves help. But what we're going to be talking about is how to do that before, or how to do that and never have an issue with our health, or I can't say never, but to enable us to have the highest health potential. Do you agree with that?
So can you go on with the disclaimer? We're not talking about income potential, so we're going to do the FDA disclaimer. And this is on any natural product. You go to your health food store downtown and look on the back of the bottle, and it's going to have a statement very much like this.
All right, so I'll go ahead and read that. And I want to ask everybody to please like and share and subscribe with our YouTube channel. And the statement is also going to be below the video as well, and all of our contact information. We have a team that's very eager to help educate you and guide you in the correct direction. So these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Any products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. This presentation is not intended to provide diagnosis, treatments, or medical advice. Products, services, information, and other content provided in this presentation, including information that may be provided in the presentation directly or by linking to third-party websites, are provided for informational purposes only. And we always recommend you consult with your favorite healthcare. Okay, David, I'm going to mute.
All right. So we're talking tonight about glutathione and the immune system. And if you've been with us, you know what glutathione is. It is a beautiful little molecule. And here's a representation of a small section of our immune system. The immune system is so complex. There's so many articles about the relationship of the immune system with glutathione. As of this morning, 8,919 articles. They started in the 1950s, but there were only 8 articles written in the 50s. The 95th article was written in the 1970s. In 1994, there were almost 200 articles, and last year, 320 articles last year alone. So there's getting more and more interest, more and more people doing in-depth research into the relationship of glutathione with our immune system, and it is really a very complex thing. Our immune system, unlike most of our systems in our body, you know, our circulatory system is centered around the heart, right? The heart pumps the blood to all the parts of our body. Our nervous system is centered on the brain, but the immune system is much more complex than that. There's no center for the immune system. It's a complex network of cells, tissues, organs, and the substances that those tissues and substances make. And it's all geared to fighting infections and diseases and repairing and keeping our body in the top health. It includes white blood cells, and there's not just one white blood cell. There's numerous, over like 8 different kinds of white blood cells. A lot of us think of white blood cells, and that's the killer T cells. Those are the ones that go out and attack the invaders, the bacteria and the viruses and stuff. But there's a whole host of other cells that work with them. There's the B cells that go out and tag the invaders so that the killer cells know what to attack. And then there's other cells that come along and say, hey, that's enough. You don't need to attack anything else. It's all dead. In addition to that, there's all the tissues and the organs, part of our lymphatic system. Stuff we don't even think of as being part of the lymphatic system, such as the spleen and tonsils, the lymph nodes, of course, but even our bone marrow is considered part of the lymphatic system and part of the immune system. That's where the red and white blood cells are created, is in the bone marrow. So you see a representation of one of the many types of white blood cells and some of the parts of your immune system over here on the right side of the slide. And we have a number of excerpts from some of the studies that are out there. This one, quite simply, glutathione, the immune function. And this one was written by Dr. Droege, who played an important part in creating immunocalc platinum, and we'll take a look at that here at the end. And this study says the immune system works best if the lymphoid cells, which is all the cells part of the lymphatic system, have a delicately balanced intermediate level of glutathione. That is not too much, not too little. And he says there's a balance in this, and that moderate changes in the intracellular glutathione, that's the amount of this molecule that's inside the cell. We'll talk about that too here in a minute. But changes have a profound effect on the cells in your immune system and their function. And then there's lots of different functions of glutathione: DNA synthesis, DNA repair, and there's also the reactive oxygen species, the ROS, that are created when the cells do a lot of things, including make energy. And therefore, glutathione as an antioxidant is very important. And the immune functions in diseases, a lot of those are associated with the amount of cysteine and the amount of glutathione in our system, and deficiency then makes these things worse. Having more enhances the potential of our immune system. And he notes that trials have shown that treatment of HIV-infected patients with N-acetylcysteine, which is a synthetic cysteine donor, it caused, in both cases of these trials, a significant increase in all immune functions under the test, including an almost complete restoration of the killer cell activity, which, if you know anything about HIV, that's the hallmark of HIV, is it shuts down those natural killer cells, your white blood cells. They quit moving. They quit attacking anything, even when the B cells can tag it and say, here's something to attack those killer cells. They don't do it. And yet, increasing the amount of glutathione available to these cells was able to reactivate them and have an almost complete restoration of their function. And that is very significant. Here's another article on it. And this one is the immunomodulatory effects of glutathione. Garlic derivatives and hydrogen sulfide, which, by the way, hydrogen sulfide is a component of a lot of things and is used in the process of making glutathione. And the abstract on this one states that glutathione and aged garlic extracts are sulfur-containing products, and they play an important protective and regulatory role in the immune system and of the oxidative processes, because glutathione is a key in the reduction oxidation process, the redox process that all of our cells are part of. And they note that recent studies show that sulfur-containing compounds from garlic have beneficial effects in attenuating them, making the outcomes better associated with cardiovascular disease and in inflammation. And glutathione also has a positive effect in these same roles. And our third article that we're noting here, glutathione and glutathione transferase omega-1 as key post-transitional regulators in macrophages. And the macrophages are those white blood cells, the killer T cells. And this one, in part, it's a rather lengthy abstract, says, until recently, the binding of GSH, which is glutathione, was only considered to maintain the integrity of cellular components, limiting the damaging effects of aberrant oxidative environment, that is, the reactive oxygen species, the free radicals that we're used to hearing about. Glutathione can, however, have a positive and a negative regulatory effect on protein functions in the white blood cells. It actually regulates secretion of some of these proteins and makes the macrophages more or less effective in their duty. Also plays a role in defense against Listeria monocytogenes, and glutathionylation is what they call this binding process. They're noting that this is an emerging key in regulation of macrophage biology, and that this might be a susceptible target for therapies targeting increasing your immune function. But we've already seen that increasing the glutathione amount in your system is a great way to already target these functions on a therapeutic level. So here's our glutathione. It is a tripeptide. That means there's 3 different amino acids that make up this molecule. It's composed of glutamine, cysteine, and glycine. And you see the blue parts here are the connections between those 3 amino acids, and that yellow tip is where the magic happens. That is the sulfur compound in the cysteine molecule. So here we see from a website called examine.com, and this is what they do. They examine these clinical documents that come out, and they say that although glutathione is critical for a number of processes, its limited as a dietary supplement because it breaks down very rapidly in the digestive system. And this is also true of supplements like in acetylcysteine or NAC. It breaks down very quickly in the digestive system, but it also has a very short half-life. Being a synthetic, it breaks down very quickly. This synthetic cysteine does, where the natural cysteine that is a part of immunocal does not break down so fast. And the glutathione can be recycled over and over again, especially if you're taking supplements like alpha lipoic acid or its other component, R-lipoic acid, which is a bit more potent than alpha lipoic. So they note that getting the cysteine into your system by consuming glutathione is inefficient because of this breakdown in the digestive system, and it winds up costing a lot to get the small amount of cysteine into your cells that you do get. Even though supplementation is thought to increase the pool of glutathione in the cell, eventually it does because these things are broken down and eventually they get back to the cell and the cell creates the proper amino acids and makes those into glutathione. And where if you're taking something that is a precursor that gets through your digestive system, then the cells don't have to expend that extra effort to make the components for glutathione. They just stitch them together, kind of like you think of Legos, just putting the pieces together. So here's what we were talking about, immunocal. And as you see on the box, it says glutathione precursor. And that's exactly what it is. It includes those components for glutathione, the glutamate, glycine, and cysteine. But it includes more than just those three. It is a complex that includes all of the components that allow your cell not only to make glutathione, but to utilize it properly. And that's what the bonding is for the cysteine that's in immunocal. It's all those other proteins that protect it from the digestive process. And yet once it gets to the cell and the cell takes this complex bonded cysteine apart, it has everything it needs then to create and use glutathione effectively. And as you see on the sides, clinically proven to increase intracellular glutathione levels, that is inside the cell where it does all of its work. And it helps to maintain a healthy immune system and reduce that oxidative stress that is so damaging to our system. Even when we're healthy, oxidative stress puts a huge load on our immune system. And immunocal allows the cells to create the glutathione and fight that oxidative stress and maintain our health. As you see too, there's over 45 years of research on this product, over 500 or 400 research papers done by the team that created this product, and over 80 patents. There's also something like 125 associate institutions worldwide that have also done their own research on this product. So it's very, very heavily researched worldwide and 80 patents worldwide. So we know this is very well researched and very well documented that this does do exactly what it says it does. There we go. We're back off of our PowerPoint. So that is really what I wanted to show, is that increasing the glutathione in our cells is very important to maintaining a healthy immune system, and by way of doing that, maintaining our own health and making sure that we don't contract any of the diseases that are floating out around on a daily basis. so we don't get sick.
That was a wonderful presentation, David. Want to thank you for putting that together. And anybody that watches this video, please contact us and we'd be glad to help you. We do these presentations every Tuesday, and we will be covering many more topics. So please look at the description below so you can get our contact information.
Yes.
And
Down below will be all the contact information and some other references, websites, and our email address. So please contact us, hit like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video next week.
thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.